Today we're going to finally formalize how to do open and closed circles with piecewise functions. We've just got an initial view of how to do these kinds of functions, but we didn't really talk about open and closed circle. So today we're going to finally formalize that and we can get more precise with our graphs. So great, I'm going to go ahead and review with you all how we do these quickly, like the initial part. So for the first part, we're going to go ahead and do a table on the side. For the first function here, I'm only using a little ruler because, I do them crooked. So I'm doing two separate graphs, one for the top function and another one for the bottom function. Like this. Cool. So I have x, y, x, y. The first table is going to be for x less than -2. The second table I'm going to do for x greater than or equal to -2. So this is for like my first function up here, and this is for my second function over here. Cool. So we're going to go ahead and choose values in our table for the first one for x less than -2. Values less than -2 is like -3, -4, -5, and then -6. I'm just choosing 4 points. Sometimes you can use more if you want to get more precise. For the second table, x is greater than or equal to -2. That means -2 is part of its graph, so I'm going to include it because of that equal to. Awesome. So numbers greater than or equal to -2, that's -1, 0, 1, 2. Another piece of feedback when you're doing these graphs is to look at the original functions and decide what kind of graph should you be getting. For the first one right here, because it's y equals mx plus b, I know that the first one's going to be a line. So the table right here is going to give me a line. So when I connect the dots, I could use a ruler. For the second function right here, I have a little squared right there. That means I know that's going to be a parabola. So I know this table right here, when I connect those dots, I'm going to get a parabola. So let's go ahead and jump into evaluation here. For this right here, you only want to plug into your top function. So we're going to put -3 times 3, that's -9 plus 8, you get -1. You plug in -4 into your top function, you get -12 plus 8, you get -4. Again, -5 times 3 gives you -15 plus 8. It's going to give you -7. And then you plug in -6 times 3. That's -18 plus 8. That's -10. Again, you can use a calculator if you're having difficulty with that portion. Cool. So we have our first table. And then let's go ahead and fill in our second table. Second table is going to be for second function. Now for this one, I'm going to write out the first one. I'm going to plug in -2, like so. Notice that the -2 is inside parentheses. That means -2 times -2 is +4. Plus 4, that's going to give me 8. Similarly, -1 times -1, that's +1, plus 4 gives me 5. We're going to do 0 squared. 0 times 0, that's 0. Plus 4 is 4. And we're going to do 1 squared plus 4. That's 1 times 1 is 1. Plus 4 is 5. Then we're going to do 2 squared. That's going to give you 4. Plus 4 is 8 again. Great. So we went ahead and filled out our tables. We're going to talk about where to put our hole in a second. But just know that because this doesn't have an equal to sign with it, I know that my hole is going to be on this side. So the hole will be here. Just put a note of that. Let's go ahead and connect our points. I'm going to start with the line, so I'm going to use a ruler. So -3, -1. 1, 2, -3, and then -1. Then -4, comma -4. So -4. Down 1, 2, 3, 4. -5, -7. And then -6, -10. I'm going to go ahead and connect my points. Like a line right here. And I'm going to do a little arrow because you want to show me that you know which direction the line is growing in. It's growing only in this direction because that's where x is less than 2. Only on this side. Now let's jump over to the parabola. So again, remember why I know it's a parabola. Let's plot our points. So -2, 8. -1, -5. I'm sorry, -1, +5. 0, 4. 1, 5. And then 2, 8. Go ahead and connect these points. And it's going off over there because that's greater than or equal to 2 on that side. So it's super important to show your arrows and show me that you know which direction these are going in. All right, the last thing is, I know this was a closed circle right here for the parabola because it's x greater than or equal to 2. Awesome. Now we need to find out how to do the whole for this function, right? Because -2 is over here. We still got some parts of the graph that we need to fill, but we just need to put in that open circle. Well, let me change my color here. So in order to find out where the open circle is, I'm going to go ahead and add the -2 into the first graph. This is actually like, you can't add -2, but we're going to do it so we can put in our open circle. So if I put in -2 into my original function, I get 3 times -2, that's -6, plus 8, that's +2. So here I'm going to circle this. This is open circle. So that's how you figure out where the open circle goes. So I'm going to go to -2, 2, open circle, and then we could go ahead and connect that. And now it's part of our graph. So this is how you add in your open and closed circles. These are my general tips. Now your assignment right now, once you view this video, is to go ahead and attempt these on your own now. What I like to see is your tables, and I like to see at least 4 points for each function graphed. So you have graph number 2 to do on your own, and then you also have graph number 3. Once you're done with all the graphs, raise your hand. I'll be checking in with you and checking in to see what more we need to go over as a class. Now, if you're stuck on certain problems, I need you to use a post-it and put it on the edge of your table so that we can go over some of these if needed. All right, but right now it's going to be independent. You're going to complete parts 2 and 3. Be mindful of the timer that's up on the board. All right.